going in here in 1 minute.
Oh, you should be good to go.
Volume check, volume check.
Sounds good to me. How's everyone doing this Friday afternoon?
It is a friendly Friday indeed. Cool Blue is going to be tied up in a meeting. So that is a programming note. Cool Blue will be tied up in the meeting. We will wait for a couple more people to get filled in here, including a special guest. And we're actually going to play some sounds from Senses here. So this is what the sounds is to the room fills in. Wow, that's just relaxing, to say the least, and that's what we need on this Friday here.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I feel like I've been kind of, I've been in a chill mood this Friday. I haven't needed to run around anywhere or do last second things. Like, it's been a pretty solid Friday so far. What about you?
In comparison to last couple Fridays, yeah, it has been, and this week has been a lot less intense. We did have, I don't know if it would be intense, but just very active. We've had the rebranding, as you can see right now, is V3 Vayner 3. We had that going on. We had our offsite, which if you look at some of our tweets down there below, some of the activity that we had on our offsite activations. And then we also had demo day, which was very successful, very fun. And then, you have to digest after demo day for sure and cut up all that micro content. And I think that's a lot of the department there, D-Rob. So less with me. Hugh, how have you been? How are you doing on this Friday?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Just plugging away, doing my job, paid, doing what I was hired to do. No. But yeah, no, everything's doing great. Looking like a good weekend up ahead. So I'm excited to just kind of like relax a little bit. Alan Carroll, you're now here, invited up. How is your Friendly Friday going?
Oh, no complaints at all. Friday is always a good day. It's great being with you guys and, excited to hear a little poetry.
For sure. Crypto Novo, you want to give us the TLDR, or guest who's going to join us today?
Well, we're waiting for him to arrive. I just DM'd him. And it's funny because it's been in this Web3 world, how fast it goes. He was, I had him on my personal show, not to show myself, but I had him on my personal show, and I wanted him to come on and have a nice, relaxing Friday for us, actually, at the end of the week when we did have our rebrand and Web3 demo day launch. So I brought him on at that time, and I guess we had fat fingers. We actually booted him out accidentally and disconnected him before he can come on and read some poetry with us. And that's what we're going to do, is slow it down a little bit and not sit there and dance off relax a little bit on this Friday and preserve our energy going into the weekend. So we're gonna have David Bianchi, hopefully in a couple minutes here. We'll see if he can. But, prior to that, we do have the meme king himself that can maybe inspire us with, I don't know if I'm going to put him on spot or he's actually has a little poetry for us. Is this something that maybe you could facilitate here, meme king there, Alan Carroll?
I mean, I am no professional poet, but you can definitely take some elements of Web3 language and maybe spin them into a little rhyme or so, a little haiku or something like that. I just, I don't have anything professional prepared for you. Maybe for everybody listening, give us a little comment below what your NFT Web3 poem is. This one.
Yeah, I actually love that. For all the listeners here, make sure to write over this weekend a Web3 haiku and tag us in it so that we can see it, because that's getting me pretty pumped. I'm going to work on that. Yeah, so also, everybody knows by this point, I love my fun questions, right? That's like literally my claim to fame at this point, which is funny because I actually steal it from my older brother. I'm stealing his claim to fame, but it's mine now. So question of the day, Crypto Novo, Alan, I know one of you is from the Northeast and the other is from the Midwest. Let's discuss pizza, New York versus Chicago style. Let's go.
All right, I will go first, and I'll be upfront with it all. One, when I eat a Chicago-style pizza, which is usually a deep dish variety, I like to kind of start off with a fork and a knife, to tell you the truth, till I get to the crust. I don't know why. It's just what I do. I load it up with crushed red peppers, no matter what style it is, where the New York style is more of a fold and go, so kind of like pizza on the run. But I'm sticking with my hometown favorite. If I need a meal, I'm looking for a nice big pizza. I want to sit down, sometimes with a fork and a knife, and eat it. Don't call me George Costanza eating a Snickers bar, but I do like my Chicago style pizza. So my answer will be Chicago style pizza. On to you, Alan Carroll. Meme that, my friend. Meme that.
Look, Chicago and New York are one thing, but the true backbone of pizza in this country is Sbarro. And anybody that doesn't know that, I don't know what else to tell you. It's like that's clearly the best pizza establishment around. New York is very famous for a lot of Sbarros in New York City, so definitely those a look.
Alan Carroll coming in with the hot Sbarro take. All right, I'll allow it. You kind of skirted around the issue, but I'll allow it today. It's a friendly Friday, and then I'm gonna just throw something complete curveball here. I'm from New Jersey, so I'm gonna say New Jersey has better pizza than everywhere else and better bagels, and New York just wishes that they were New Jersey. I'm probably gonna get hate for that now. Shouldn't have said that under the Vayner 3. So that is your observation.
Wait a second. Hold on. Pause button. I'm not in the region to know what's across the river. The difference between a New Jersey style pizza and a New York style pizza. All right, I'm just guessing. I'm gonna guess. Is New Jersey style pizza like leftovers from New York pizza from the night before you brought over the river and you're eating the morning before? Or define this a little bit for me, just so I need to be taught here.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, it comes down to the water, right? For making that dough. So you have New York water and New Jersey water. Both are probably equally disgusting. But that's what gives everything the flavor. And so I would say, as far as New Jersey pizza goes, it's a little bit even thinner than New York pizza and not as overdone. So like there's a little bit more of a chewiness rather than a burnt flavor that is in a lot of New York pizza. That's how I would describe it.
Here's a little bit of facts from they are some of the more famous deep dish pizza around Chicago. Is they try to set up Illuminati's pizzas in different establishments around the U.S. and the taste was different. And they thought it was maybe the ovens they used. They thought it was maybe the altitudes at. They thought it was everything, and it came down to be the water. And a lot of times they don't want to produce live flour and dough elsewhere because the ship Lake Michigan water elsewhere for that same flavor is probably the most expensive cost in all of that. I don't know if that's myth, legend, or what we hear when we go to eat in those types of establishments. Before I bring David, I believe our co-hosts have siblings in the family, and when Alan Carroll brought up Sbarro's Pizza, yes, there are Sbarro's in the malls around here, or whatever the malls when I was growing up in the Chicagoland area, and you'd always want like the big bowl. Like that was, I don't know why that was so like that was just like the golden ticket of the pizza. Was there ever like any like battles over the big bubble piece on a piece of pizza within siblings, Alan Carroll or D-Rob?
I mean, I was always bigger than the rest of them, so I kind of dictated, who got what. So, I was always getting the bubble pieces for sure.
Yeah, I don't know if we ever really fought over pizzas. My brother and I, growing up, liked different toppings on our pizza, so we were usually split right down the middle. So we didn't really like share that much. And as far as my sister and I think we're pretty good about sharing. Every now and then I'll take the big bubble. Every now and then I'll give it to her. I'm trying to be, a good older brother as far as that goes.
Hey guys, you guys got to bring in Keith Grossman into this conversation. Like he is like literally the debate king over bagels and dough and all things New York City, quality of water. Like I think he'll seriously send voodoo dolls to your office if you go against him. So definitely a healthy debate for Keith Grossman and Vayner 3. Like I'm calling battle right now and I'm putting outside bets. So let's go.
All right. Speaking of calling things, finally on Vayner 3. I know that one time it was like an airport. The next time we were tied up at, I think, NFT NYC, excuse me. And then last week, Fat Fingers, we hung up on you. David Bianchi, how about you introduce yourself? Finally, we get to spend some time with you. Introduce yourself a little bit, and we can either continue with the bagel discussion. We can go on to other Friendly Friday things. We can discussion we want. We just want to chill and hang out. So how about you with that gracious voice of yours, just grab that phone, that mic, and just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I appreciate that. That's making me want to put a little bit of chocolate and vanilla on my voice and speak my diaphragm. No, great to be here. Very, very cool space. I love everything that Vayner stands for. I had the opportunity to speak at VCon, and I love what is happening in this ecosystem as a result of Vayner. I really believe that history is going to look back at Gary Vee and see him as one of the most significantly, single-handedly most important individuals as it relates to Web3 and blockchain mass adoption. There's nobody in the space besides a guy like Barry that can get on CNBC and talk NFTs. It's just, he's singular. I'm an NFT artist. I was just blessed and recently nominated by NFT Now as one of the 100 more influential voices in the space. I created an art genre called Spinema, spinning cinema through spoken word, which means that I create high concept short films told entirely in spoken word poetry that are socially conscious in their themes. I minted the first ever spoken word film as an NFT back in March of 2021. That led to an acquisition by Beethoven, who acquired the $69 million Beeple. And since then, I've minted 3 of these films that have gone on to mint successfully, including having produced the first red carpet film premiere in the metaverse in Decentraland. And have sold out on Super Rare. I've been curated at Art Basel by Time Magazine, and G Money, Pranksy, Mondoir, even Keith Grossman, some of the biggest collectors in the space have acquired my work. And poetry has always been a very strong underlying theme of the art that I put into the ecosystem. I think that it's a very underserved art, but it is basically who I am. I'm an actor and a filmmaker and poet before Web3, and I still am on TV. I'm on a show right now called Resident Alien that's on Peacock and Sci-Fi. We just got picked up for season 3. Woo woo. And so I'm an artist. I'm an artist first. And when I found the blockchain, there was no way that I was turning back. There's never been this sort of incredible opportunity to not only create incredible art, but give artists the dubious luxury of being able to be self-sustaining and earn secondary income, which is how actors survive. We survive on residual checks. How do the wealthy survive? They survive through passive income, and that's how they get wealthier. And so now that this is available to artists, it's just really, really groundbreaking. And so for me, I believe that everything that we tap into in the next 5 years, whether it be art, media, music, data collecting, intellectual property, everything in some way, shape, or form is going to be tethered to the blockchain. And if we know that, then it's going to be our duty as stewards to build in the bear market, to do everything that we can to evangelize Web3 and just stand up for this community and this culture and the ever-changing evolution of technology. So here we go.
We are the guardians of this galaxy, and we do have to approach it in the proper ways. And, I was privy to your work, obviously prior to this conversation, but, maybe for people who are in a Web 2.0 aspect, and maybe, you can bridge back from when you got your Screen Actors Guild card in 2004 and how that brought you to this Web3 experience today. Because what you're trying to establish here is systematic change. And like what you're talking about is helping people who are artists in multiple genres here. I mean, you're talking not only with filmmaking, but with poetry, with spoken art, with visual art, with sound waves and sound amplification. So maybe the transition from, was there a defining line when you knew like, hey, I got to start bringing this into Web3. This is the way to go. Like gloves are off now. Is there a defining point?
I mean, it's a great question. And thanks for knowing that about my story. Yeah, I got my SAG card in 2004 doing extra work. I didn't come up through nepotism. I came up the hard way. And I was in the service industry for 15 years. I was a waiter and a bartender as I was building my portfolio, getting TV credits, producing independent film, and so on and so forth. Come the pandemic, everything was really insecure. And so I heard about the $69 million Beeple sale, and that really piqued my interest, and I've been involved in crypto since 2017. So I didn't come into NFTs because I thought it was going to be the end all be all or holy grail. I was just looking at different ways to survive. I looked at the pandemic because my bar job ended, and I made decent money as a bartender and as an actor, so I didn't want to lose that source of income, but I didn't want to do that anymore. So I looked at it as God, like pushing the little bird off the cliff and saying, fly. So here I was trying to flap my wings, and when I found the NFT space and I minted I Can't Breathe, I'll never forget it. Crypto, by the grace of God, I think, and hard work and good art, I ended up working with Paulo Moreno and Farouk and Wolf Lion and some of these really influential people in Clubhouse at the time. And there was 4,000 people in this room, and there wasn't a dry eye in the room as I performed this poem, and it was collected. And not only, was it collected, it for the first time in my entire life, I've been making poetic films for 17 years, was the work exalted, really sophisticated, influential people that can move the needle at a social level off the back of NFTs. That film got seen by Bridget Floyd. It got played at the 1-year memoriam of Mr. George Floyd's passing. The story got covered by Forbes. And next thing you know, I was tapped into this incredible community of culture shapers, financial movers, knowledgists that really were hungry for high art. When I experienced that, I can't tell you how many times I cried out of sheer joy. Just off the back of believing that my art finally felt like it found a place, and that there was a community of people that understood the mission I was trying to create through social consciousness. And so because of that, my heart beats for Web3 even now much more than it does for Hollywood. Because in Hollywood, I love what I do, but I hit their marks, I learn their lines, and I just stay quiet. But what I get to do here in NFTs is that we are celebrated as the artist. I'm not just celebrated as a cog in the wheel. People see me as, oh, I know what David Bianchi does. I know why I collect him. I know his purpose. I know his heart. I know what he stands for. And I think that the blockchain gives us all an opportunity to leave a legacy. So when you put all those things together, it's a no-brainer.
You're creating legacy, and you're also creating drive. Like, that's why I enjoy having people come on spaces and talk about their past experiences, because there's someone listening down that have parallel paths to you, or or look up to you, and now they know it is about grinding, it is about drive, it is about evolving. And right now you're doing all that, educating others, trying to onboard and help others come on into this space. Excited and been pressing to get you on for such a long time, but maybe back to a little bit of the purpose of this Friendly Friday is just to relax a little bit and chill and hang out. And this space goes by so fast. And there's so many moving parts. And sometimes it is all right just to sit back and listen to some words, listen to a friendly voice in the environment, and just to catch your breath. And I was wondering, I was looking around for some, and I didn't want to put you on the spot for reading it live. But one of the ones that's for sale on the floor right now is actually number 555. And someone within our organization loves the number 5. I don't know. Sometimes the moons align. I'm going to play it live from my computer. It might not, it's definitely not going to sound.
Is 555 for sale on OpenSea right now?
I believe it is. Yes. It has the owner there. Yes.
Bro,
or maybe it's not. Or maybe it's not for sale. I'll take that back. Maybe it's not for sale. You can make an offer on it.
I talked to Gary about this project when I saw him in Cannes, and you know, I just don't think he's had time to actually sit down and take a look at it, because we got to get Gary 555.
It's actually the one on the first public sale minting page on the top left within the website that you guys can check out by clicking the top. Sorry, I'm not going to shill any projects. I hate to do that on air. You know, do your due diligence on the relaxation of it for the entire theme of it. And maybe even before I play this, like I can pull up on my screen and have the visuals. But like maybe talk about how these work a little bit, how you use color, light, movement, and sound to produce your masterpieces. Your Senses.
Yeah, thanks. That's so exciting. Thanks, man. So Senses is a collection that I made in response to what happens in Discord and Twitter. Sorry about that, guys. I got a phone call. Am I back?
Cool. Yeah, handle it.
All right. Yeah. So you know, I was inspired to do this because you know a lot of people in the space are really rude and really aggressive to people in Discords and Twitters. Stuff hurts people. And I was like, you know, I was inspired to create something uplifting and inspirational that goes against, like, you know, the hard themes of the stuff that I discuss in my films. So 100 poems that are uplifting, that are inspired by the 5 human senses. So 145-second poems. I worked with my lead artist, Dogan Demir, who's a technologist, and we recorded these haikus. These are a style of poetry. And from the wave recording, we took mathematical data, right, and then we used that mathematical data to inspire the code that created the generative art that you see in my piece pinned at the top. So the art is actually inspired from wave recordings of my voice, and then collaborated with Big DJ Please and Thank You, and he produced 15 binaural healing music tracks. So every single one of these NFTs, audio, poetry layer, my voice, a healing music layer, and then 8 generative fractal art layers to create 1,000 ones of ones on async music blueprints. And 5% of the supply are video NFTs, and 95% of the supply are these beautiful static portraits. And anyone who acquires one of them, you know, I transfer that you get the resell and republishing rights of the written poetry. And the hidden layer beneath every NFT is the actual typewriter format that I created. So you can download every PNG layer individually on the async platform. So really trying to push the ideas of healing, mental health, pause, awareness, introspection. You know, even if you can't afford to mint one, you can go on the OpenSea page and just listen to a couple of them. And it'll just give you a place to pause and listen and get introspective and find a place of calm in this really chaotic Web3 space. So that's really the motivation. A lot of detailed work went into it. When you look at the collection, every color represents a different sense. So blue represents sight, because the most beautiful thing you see is the sky. Represents sound, because that's the color of the nature. And then white is touch, as children would reach for the clouds, you know. And so every single one of these NFTs is completely detailed, very connected, and very thought out, you know, as connected as our human senses are.
And that's what we're trying to do, is connect you guys with different senses right now on this Friendly Friday. I'm going to play sense number 555. See how it sounds. If not, feel free to check it out. We got it on the pinned tweet at the
top. Stone.
gravel, fire, fur, bark, ashes, thorn, flowers, blankets, oils that soothe. The touch of the texture can easily set the mood. Thank you for playing that. That was lovely, and I'd love to take it a step further. We have to get that to Gary. I actually know the guy that owns that one. He's a big Gary fan. I'd love to do something live. You know, if you guys are open to it.
Yes, 100%. Cool, 1,000,000%. Alan Carroll, any requests?
Oh my! I think David has to take the lead on that. I'm sure he's way better suited for that than I am.
So, Alan, let's do a full-on live generative art exercise, just like the NFT, because you don't know what you're going to get. So, I'll let Alan. You choose one of the 5 senses. Whatever comes to your mind: sight, taste, touch, sound, smell.
Probably sight for sure.
Okay, great. And then let's have you choose a number 1 through 15, and that'll choose the audio.
11.
11. And then out of 1 through 20, go for it.
3.
Number 3. Oh, this is fun.
I love this. I love this. This is like Mad Libs. This is awesome. This is capital A awesome. I love this. Thank you for doing this for us. David Bianchi here, helping us out on this Friendly Friday. What do we got generated here?
I love, thanks for having me and just letting us have fun. So here we go. So instrumental 11, this is sight, and number 3. I'm so glad we're all connected. Lions, tigers, and bears, anteaters, sharks, snakes, and insects everywhere. The perfection of God's creation. Eagles do it great. Owls do it well at night. I'm so glad we're all connected by the heavenly gift of sight.
Too cool right there. That is so awesome.
Yeah, it was a little live generative audio, visual, poetic work on Twitter Spaces. It's a vibe.
Hey, I want to dedicate that to Cool Blue. She is in a meeting right now. She so wanted to be actually just anywhere listening to this. She's like, make sure you hit the record button, that it's recorded, because she's going to listen to it later. Alan Carroll, you created that for Cool Blue. Cool Blue, thank you for this Friendly Friday, for what you've done this whole week. We're going to wrap up shop here. We are all connected. I always say welcome all my aliens, apes, and zombies, because I want to have everyone feel welcome and feel part of this space and these spaces. And there's multiple ways we can do that. We're trying to do that at Vayner 3 through education and having these open mic situations so we can bring you cool things. We brought you very cool web demo day. This is a very similar just microcosm of that web demo day that we brought you just last week. I want to thank David Bianchi for his time. I know it's been a lot of back and forth, but I want to get your message out there because it is important. It's a message of hope. It's a message of hard work. It's a message of helping others who are in industry that might need to be revamped in some capacities, if not the evolution of how you can revamp it. And you have done it through mind, body, and spirit and the senses, which is important. And I want to establish that on these Friendly Fridays where we can come in here and unloosen the neckties, though I wear an AR filter and a Chewbacca onesie. And, listen to Alan Carroll, the Meme King, and, get some fun ideas. So if you do have fun ideas with a haiku, a poem, use that written expression, use that verbal expression, and share it with us. Please share it with us. Respond to the tweet, the pinned tweets, because we like having fun in this space. Back to David Bianchi. Anything else before we send off for this Friendly Friday?
Man, no, you said it best. And actually, I think that just spawned an idea. Like maybe I'll do a census giveaway, and like we could all write our own little haikus or something like that. And like, I love the idea of people expressing themselves, because there's therapy between pen and paper that doesn't happen between finger and key. And yeah, I think it's great. If there's anything that we can do today, is just, try to be the best version of ourselves that we can be. I actually posted this on my Instagram today. Be nice, be polite, be patient, have acceptance, listen and learn, pause and breathe, revise your thoughts, lead by example, be the solution.
There's some Alan Carroll. Anything to add before we send you off on this weekend?
Just once again, thank you, David. That was like really cool. I've not ever done something like that, especially live. Glad that was recorded, and let's definitely try and replicate that for sure.
And D-Rob, thank you for the question of the week. I appreciate it. Don't give him too much slack about loving the New Jersey style pizza over anywhere else. But D-Rob, anything else before we close it off for this weekend?
No, I think that was a perfect way to end it. Such a great mic drop. I just like times 100, just be the best version of yourself. Take everything 1% at a time, and eventually it just adds up. So, yeah, let's just go into this weekend and be the best people that we can be.
Hey, I'm Crypto Novo. Get those peace signs, Rex. I want to say stay positive and love life. Peace.
Most of us can see up to 1 million shades of color, some 100 million, an anatomical wonder. They say our eyes are most sensitive to bright green. I tend to enjoy a shade of cool blue. What's so special about your favorite color is it's yours, only yours, and particular to you.